Skip it up and that up. You know what? I gotta say this. I don't find the pricing of the Xbox One X to be that bad. I was actually expecting it to be a higher price. I was expecting $550, maybe even $600. So when they announced $499 or let's say $500, I thought that was pretty good. I thought the watershed price would have been like $450. Some were even predicting $399, like the PS4 Pro. I knew it wasn't going to be that low. But when they announced $499.99 US dollars officially, I was like, all right, they're giving you a hell of a lot of system for $500. I don't think the pricing of it is that bad. But I seem to be in the minority on that because there's a lot of people, including Michael Pachter and just the general consumers as a whole, that think the price is too high. But on the flip side, as much as I think the price for a premium console like the Xbox One X is pretty good at $500, I do have to agree with Michael Pachter in his latest episode of the Pachter Factor series as to what he said about the console.
I think it won't sell well because it costs twice as much as a PS4. I mean, I think that's the easy answer. And, again, the PS4 and the Xbox One S are nominally priced at $299. They're pretty regularly discounted at $249. They are almost always bundled with something. So the $299 version, you kind of have to be a moron to pay $299 for a console now and not get a piece of software for free. So, which does have a perceived value of $50. So you'll be able to get to Christmas, Xbox One X launch date, and for $600, you can buy a PlayStation and an Xbox and get a piece of software for each, for sure. Like, I promise that. And if you can't get that, I'll give you the $50 difference. I'll give you the software. You're going to find that during the holiday, between Black Friday and Christmas. I promise you at least 5 days in that period, you will be able to buy each console for $300 and a free piece of software. So for $600, you can buy both consoles and 2 games, and for $500, you can buy an Xbox One X and no games. And if you want to buy 2 games, at least another $100. So the value proposition is 1 console and 2 games, or 2 consoles and 2 games. Who in their right mind is buying an Xbox One X?
That audio clip was Michael Pachter on his latest episode of the Pachter Factor. I'll have a link below in the description if you do want to check out the video. Now, there's 2 sides to me with Michael Pachter's statement. The first one is, it's very strange to me that everyone is considering the Xbox One X to be insanely expensive. And the reason is because I remember hearing complaints about the original Xbox One, the fat VCR one, it being $499. But I don't think it was the price in and of itself. I remember a lot of people complaining about, why am I being forced to get the Kinect? Yes, the PS4 being $100 cheaper did make it more appealing, but I didn't see people flipping out the same way about the Xbox One, the original Xbox One, being $100 more. It was more so the fact that everyone was pissed off they were being forced to get a peripheral they simply didn't want. So now I'm looking at this system, the Xbox One X, that is a hell of a lot more powerful than the Xbox One S and maybe even the PS4 Pro. And in my eyes, it's a better value than the launch Xbox One was. And now people seem to be complaining more about the price. And again, a part of me is surprised because you're getting a lot of value for that $500. It's not going to be, like I've said in many videos, the uncompromised 4K experience like Microsoft has been touting, which I wish they didn't because it's very misleading. But it's still going to be a decent leap from the original Xbox One and the Xbox One S. However, on the flip side, I understand what Mike is saying. Okay, here's the difference now between when the 8th gen consoles launched, is that the base consoles, the Xbox One S and the PS4 Slim, have gotten significantly cheaper. Yeah, they're technically supposed to be going for $299.99 or $300 US, but like he said, there is a ton of times where they go on sale for $250 and they include a game or 2. So At that point, if you haven't jumped on the 8th generation bandwagon and you're looking between the Xbox One X and hell, even the PS4 Pro, like I've said before, $299 and $399 for the base PS4 and the PS4 Pro, that $100 difference, I always told people to go with the PS4 Pro. But when you're going from $250 to $399, or $250 for like the Xbox One S or base PS4 to the Xbox One X for $500, that's double the price. That's a big extra chunk of change for a lot of people who may not care about 4K or kind of 4K, who don't have a 4K TV or simply can't afford it. Or like Mike said, if they haven't invested in the 8th generation yet, there's a lot more value to getting the base consoles because not only do you get the systems, you get the games. So as much as I see the Xbox One X being a good value for the price with how powerful the system is, I get what he's saying, and I get why people would avoid spending that money when they could just get the base system and use that extra cash they have left over to buy games, or hell, buy both the PS4 and Xbox One. So Microsoft, if you want the Xbox One X to sell, and you could say, oh, it's just a system for the hardcore gamers and it's a niche audience, my ass, okay? You're not in the business of making consoles to not make money, okay? You want as many people to buy this system as you possibly can. And how you're going to do that is by making a piece of software. I understand they all have to work on the Xbox One S as well, but you need to make the leap visually for some exclusive game for the on the Xbox One X to look so damn good that people are like, oh my god, it doesn't even compare on the Xbox One S. That I have to get this game. It doesn't even look like the same game. I understand you kind of don't want to do that because you want to make sure people still buy Xbox One S's, but this is what you have to do. This is your new half-gen console. This is why I've been always kind of like very uneasy about these half-gen consoles, but it is what it is. You made them. The PS4 Pro is out there. The Xbox One X is soon going to be out there, and you got to make money on these systems. So you have to have a piece of software that shows off what this system is truly capable of, all right? The live streams, just like I predicted during E3, didn't show jack. Okay, looking at them through, even if you had a 4K stream, that heavily compressed stream is not going to show the average consumer, not the enthusiasts like us, the average consumer, what the system is capable of. Now you need to do something to let people know what the Xbox One X is and why it's worth $500. Because if you don't, it's going to sit on store shelves. It is. And Mike Pachter has a very good point. You didn't really show people what was the reason to buy an Xbox One X. People don't understand the difference in the visuals, and they're going to be like, I could buy both, or I could buy a Switch and an Xbox One S and a couple games and still be around the same price, if not a little bit under what the Xbox One X costs. So come on, Microsoft, you got to do something, man. I know, Phil Spencer, you're a smart dude. Make it happen, because if you don't, all the R&D you spent on the system might go to waste. Keyword is might. Things could always turn around, but right now, things ain't looking too good for the Xbox One X. Again, this could change even in a couple months, but right now, I'm concerned. This is Rich Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.